It doesn't matter whether you are going to be in a procurement leader role, or you're starting a new category, or you're starting any new role in procurement. The first 90 days are absolutely vital to shaping your impact. They are the 90 days that form most of your stakeholders' opinion about you, and they also are the key to whether you're going to be set up to succeed or whether you're going to have a struggle in your procurement role. Most people look at that 90 days and they deliver it wrong because they look at it as a holistic 90 days and they don't break it down. What I'm going to do today is teach you the framework that works every single time for me when I'm starting a new role. It's the 90-day framework. The first thing you need to do is to make sure that you split it up into three sections, three very clear sections. The first 30 days is about understanding the business. The next 30 days, so that's days 30 to 60, is about understanding the spend. And then the final 30 days, that's days 60 to 90, is about delivering a vision, an aligned vision with your business. Now, it doesn't matter what level of seniority you are in your procurement role. I promise you that in every scenario, breaking down those first 90 days will have the biggest impact. So let me explain further about those first 30 days. So when I say understanding the business, there's a tendency when we're new in role to just jump straight in, to feel like we need to prove ourselves. You know, that whole thing of you're caught in the middle of a process which is underway and you want to deliver your impact and show your value, or maybe you want to prove yourself. And there's one thing I would say is you don't have to prove yourself. You've come into your role, you've been employed, you've been interviewed, you've been for probably a rigorous process, or you've got promoted because the business already knows you are good enough. So scrap that thought about having to prove yourself and think, this is 30 days when I can unapologetically ask all the questions that need to be asked. So you understand the business by engaging stakeholders. Meet as many stakeholders as you can. Meet them on their terms, so don't meet them with the agenda of telling them all about procurement. Meet them and almost forget for a moment that you even work in procurement when you talk to them about understanding their objectives. What are their pain points? Perhaps what are their experiences of working with procurement in the past? What do they want from procurement? What's coming up? This is a perfect opportunity to ask questions, engage the stakeholder, but in a way that develops a partnership approach. A mistake I've seen many procurement professionals make is what they do is they look for the most senior stakeholders, so they'll try to meet the heads of each of the function, but very often it's the stakeholders who are on the ground, who are perhaps in less obvious senior positions, who understand the business the best and become the best allies for you. So make sure that you don't just go with the plan, the induction plan that's been set for you. Ask around, ask when you meet people, who is the most important person of this category? Who should I be speaking to? Who's got the best knowledge? The next thing when you're having those conversations is making sure you're establishing the requirements. So what are the key needs of the department that you're working in? Now, it may be that you're starting a new role in a certain category, and the needs, for example, of a marketing category might be very different from whether you're starting in supply chain or logistics. Understand the requirements, understand the expectations, because this is your opportunity to really understand what is it that the department and team thinks that they need from procurement. Of course, if you're new to a business, this is your perfect opportunity to understand the organisation as well. So actually ask those really basic questions in terms of how does the business work? What's its profit and loss like? What are the revenue targets for this year? Where's the fragility in the supply chain? All of those questions help you to understand the business, because that way you can shape procurement around the needs of the business. Perhaps cash flow is particularly important to the business. Perhaps that's not important. Perhaps something like delivering big capital expenditure projects is. But the truth is, understanding the business and also understanding the customer to the business helps you become the best, most rounded procurement professional. And then at the end of those 30 days, make sure that you can understand the business and articulate it back, and that you continue to ask questions beyond those 30 days, because honestly, sometimes it can take 3 months, 6 months to fully understand the business. Then we move on to the 60 days, so the 30 to 60 days, and this is where I guess you can be a bit more procurement-y, if that's a word. So this is when you can look to understand the spend. So engage the key suppliers, but only after, by the way, you've met the key stakeholders who are in charge of those key suppliers. I'd never meet a key supplier without having met, almost sought permission from the key stakeholder. And I know we don't want to be too subservient here, but almost to say, look, I'd really like to meet the supplier of this category. I can see you spend a lot of money with them. I'd love to be able to meet them. Do you want to join the meeting? Now, when I say engage the key suppliers, don't just see this as a checklist. Maybe you only need to meet 2 or 3 of the key suppliers at this stage, but it's just to understand what the supply base is like, what their experience of working in the business is like, what innovations they might have coming on board, who they see their competitors as. Is a brilliant way to understand the business from an external viewpoint, but also to start to establish your position in your procurement role with those suppliers so that they start viewing you as a key point of contact. Now, I know that some suppliers might be nervous about meeting procurement for the first time. Again, this is a brilliant opportunity for you to shape expectations and to show that you are going to develop and deliver a partnership approach. I would look to understand the spend. Now, this doesn't have to be at a completely detailed diagnostic analytical level, but at least understand the key breakdown of the spend in that category. So this is probably the time when you develop a basic category plan. You segment your suppliers, you work out the Pareto rule in terms of where is most of the spend being directed, and you look at perhaps things like the tail spend. You look at categorization. Do you understand the different classifications within the category that you're dealing with? Are there any anomalies versus what you're expecting to see? Are there things that you might want to ask stakeholders more questions about? Don't go too detailed at this point. Actually, high level is good. That gives you bigger impact than if you go too analytical. Remember, at this point, you're just trying to learn the shape of the category. And then look for the change opportunities. So what are the opportunities that you believe are there from your initial instincts? You're understanding now the business through not just internal review, but from external review too. Again, you're not doing anything with that yet, but you're almost making a mental checklist, and you can always write this down if you want, of where you think the key opportunities are, not just for the business, but for procurement to really add value. So you're 60 days in now, and you've already got a really good understanding of what needs to be done. This is the time, the 90-day period, 60 to 90 days, where you deliver a vision. Now, at a leadership level, at a director, CPO, head of level, this might be delivering a vision for your team. So it might be really important that you deliver a vision for your team, for them to align behind, to understand what it is that procurement is going to deliver. And when I say a vision, we're not talking about savings targets or details around payment terms or cash flow, that type of thing. We're talking about delivering a vision for what your team is going to be known as. How are they going to be perceived? And you're making that tangible, you're making it something for your team to get behind. Now, I understand you might be watching this and saying, I don't have a team, I'm delivering this as a category manager, I want to understand what to do. You can still create a vision for yourself. So based on what you know of the first 30 to 60 days, what is your vision for the way or the role that procurement is going to have in that category? And there's nothing to stop you communicating that more widely. The key is aligning that vision across the board, across the business. So one of the things I always advocate, we talked about the 0 to 30 days. Get a meeting in for the end of the 90 days with the senior stakeholders. So if you're in that head of role, make sure you're meeting the exec team at the end of those 90 days to be able to align that vision with the business, to be able to almost get sign off on what you believe the key objectives are. Deliver a roadmap for success. So when I talk about a roadmap for success, I am still not talking about line by line detail, activity level detail yet. This is a roadmap for what you think the key things that need to be delivered over the next 6 months, 12 months, 2 years, 3 years are, whether that's for your team or within the category. You're creating that vision for procurement maturity. You're almost creating a 24, 36 month plan, which the business can get behind. And the great thing of doing that is then you can identify where there might be obstacles, where there might be stumbling blocks, where currently there might be underinvestment. But by getting that in front of the senior stakeholders early, what you're doing is you're enabling them to see the vision, to buy into that vision and potentially support you with what needs to be done. And remember, at this stage you're still driving a dynamic plan. A big mistake I've seen lots of procurement professionals make is they think, I've got to have nailed it within 90 days and my plan is fixed and this is what we're going to do. Honestly, I've learned things about a business 6 months, 12 months, even 2 years in, which have changed my vision. So that doesn't mean that those 90 days and all the plans you made were redundant. It means that we should be setting up regular review points 6 months, 9 months, 12 months down the line to review against that initial plan, and better still, to align that plan or realign the changes with the senior stakeholders, so you're bringing them along on the journey. Not every success is dependent on the first 90 days, but I can tell you your impact, how you're perceived, is very much based on that. If you want to learn more about strategies to become 1% better at procurement every week, subscribe to my newsletter here. If you want to be engaged in the community where I give masterclasses every week, I have Ask Me Anything sessions, then please get on the wait list here. It's only open at certain times during the year, but I'd love for you to join on board. And remember, the moment you sign up to my newsletter, you also get access to all of my best cheat sheets. You can see them here. The one that I delivered on the 90 days plan, which might help you to perform better in your role. I will see you in the next video.